Hello, amazing people. Welcome back to my channel. How you all doing, guys? Hope you're all doing great. Today, I'm going to show you how to make this front tie off-shoulder crop top. Okay, this is super easy. Let's do this. So, of course, I have my print alongside my working tools. Yeah. So, what I'm going to do is just to fold according to the width that I'm going to be working with. Right. Yeah. So, like I always say, work with the biggest part of the circumference. For me, it's going to be the bust. So I'll just divide my bust circumference by 4, add 3 to 5 inches, and that will let you know the width you're going to work with. Okay. Now for this crop top, the length of my crop top is going to be 17. So it's an off shoulder, remember. So I'll be taking off 6. That's why I'm placing my tape at that 6 inches mark, and I'm indicating what 17 as the length of my crop top. So I'm just going to add extra 1 inches for seam allowance there. Okay, yeah, for hemming. So that's just going to make it what 18 inches. So feel free to work with the length that you want. You might make yours lesser, as less as 15 or even 16, but I just want to work with this 17. Okay, yeah, so that's it. Now I'm just going ahead to rule that out. 17 plus 1, that's 18 inches. Then of course, alongside the width of what my bust circumference, just like I told you earlier on. So once I get what I need, I'll go ahead and cut out the piece that I'll be working with. Yeah, so I have this already laid down. So remember, it's going to be a front tie, right? So which means the back has no opening. So I'm starting with the back first, placing my tape at the 6 inches mark. What am I doing now? I'm just indicating the chest lines at 9. I'm indicating the bust point at 10.5, the under bust at 13.5, and of course the waistline. So this is optional. You can decide to just do maybe a straight dart or a princess dart, okay, but I just want to add cup here so that it will be able to accommodate the boobs very well. That's why I'm going through the process of putting in what a breast cup here, right? Yeah, so after indicating these lines, then I'll do the bust span now. So the bust span, of course, is 7 divided by 2, 3.5. Then I'll go ahead and add 0.5 to it, which makes it 4. That's why I'm ruling out my 4. You can see from top to the bottom. Okay, now yeah, so I'm coming down to the lowest point. I'm taking in 0.5 inches for that. So this is the back piece now. We're not putting in any breast point at this part. First, this is just a straight dart we're doing for the back piece. So 0.5 inch on that waistline, then I'm taking it all the way to the chest line to give us what our dart line there. So you can see this, that's how the cutout is going to be. Okay, so after achieving this now, then I'll go ahead and put in what my circumference. So on the chest line, we'll put the bust measurement of 34 divided by 4. That's 8.5, then plus 2 inches of seam allowance. You can see me marking that down. Then I'll go to my waistline, 28 rather, divide by 4. That gives me 7, of course, plus the 2 inches seam allowance. I'm also marking that down, and that's just it, guys. Like, we've marked out our point there by the sides. Okay, I'm just going ahead to connect all the points. Okay, yeah, so that's it, guys. So for the neck depth, you can decide to make it deeper, which I'm going to be doing much later. Okay, yes, you can decide to make it deeper, go as deep as say 7 to 8 or even the 9 inches there. Okay, whatever you want, but for the moment I'm still going to leave it like that. So the shoulder width now is what I'm taking note of. I'm marking it as 6 inches mark there. Then you can see me taking in my armhole point to the chest line. That's all. Just go ahead and cut. I mean, you should be familiar with this, right? There's nothing difficult here at all. This is just a straight cut dart that we're doing here. So I'm going ahead to cut out this out. So this is for my for the back piece, like I said, and it's not going to have an opening. So just going ahead to cut through this out. Yeah, so that's it. I'm cutting out my armhole now, and then we have it. You can see this is quite straightforward, right? So like I said, I'll be deepening my neckline later on. I'll be doing that much later on. Okay, yeah, so this you can see this is the view of what our back piece looks like. So as easy as that. So setting this aside, we'll go for the front piece. So here I already have my lines ruled out, just like we did for the back piece. Okay, so you can see at that 6 inches mark, I indicated the chest line at 9. The bust point there was at 10.5, the under bust there was at 13.5, and of course the waistline at 17 plus the 1 inches 18. So you can see some extra lines there behind that 5 inches width. So that's what I'm going to be using for what the overlapping, right? Yeah. So if you don't want it to confuse, you can just fold it in a bit, then later on we'll make use of it when we're ready. Yeah, so that's just it now. So what I'll do now is to now create what my bust cut. So this is the part I'll be putting in my bust cut here. So still using what the bust span of 7 divided by 2, 3.5 plus 0.5, making it 4. Still going ahead to mark out my 4 inches all the way from top to the lowest point. You can see what I'm doing, and of course connecting all the points there. You can see this now. Yeah, so indicate what the bust point. Yeah, indicate the bust point there so that we can mark out 1 inches below and 1 inches above. You can go ahead and label it so you don't get confused. So I'm just indicating 1 inches above my bust point and 1 inches below my bust point. You can see me taking note of those points down. Then I'll come to the under bust then. That under bust, I'm going to mark what 0.5 inches on both sides. So depending on how much of the cup that you want, not necessarily so much. So that's why I'm doing 0.5 inches, okay, on both sides. If the person is more busty, you can do 1. Okay, remember we're just trying to give this that bit of cup effect so I can accommodate the both sides. So you can see me marking that down on the under bust there. Then I'm going to what connect it what to that 1 inches that is below the bust point there. You can see me creating my curve. So this is what we usually do when we're creating our straight bustier cut. Then coming to the top now, I'm going to also mark out. I'll mark 1 inches on this side, and I'll mark what 0.5 inches on the other side. Okay, yeah, so 1 inches towards the sides there, while 0.5 inches what is towards the front, the center front there. Okay, yeah, so going ahead now to connect these 2 points also to that 1 inches what that is above the bust points line. So you can see the 1 inches below and above bust point line just helped us to create our upper cup and our lower cup, and that's it, guys. There's nothing extra here at all. So you can see we created our cup there. So I can now take my circumference, body circumference measurement. So for the bust, remember it's 34 divided by 4, 8.5, right? I'm also going to go ahead and mark what that down and put my extra seam. So in order not to get confused, like I said earlier on, just folded in that overlapping effect so you don't get confused. So I'm putting that down. Then I'm also indicating that line there. Remember, I'll be cutting it out so that we don't have any shortages. So just marking that down with the 2 inches with same allowance. Okay, on the waistline, remember, it was 28 divided by 4, 7, and also what going ahead to add the dart we are creating out there, put in the dart, very important, and then the 2 inches what for same allowance. And guys, that's just it here. That's just it. We're going ahead what to connect all the points now, and here we have our sides has been drafted out, so you can see this now. Yeah, so coming back to the shoulder width, remember the shoulder we were using was 6, right? So I'm also going to what put in that 6 as well. And remember now that there's a dart there as well, so I have to put that dart back again. Okay, yeah, so very important. Anywhere you have that, you have to replace it when you are marking that down so that it will not have any shortages. So from that point of the dart, I will now create my armhole all the way to the chest line there. You can see, guys, we're done. It's as easy as that. So we're done with the drafting now. So I can now open up my piece completely so we can work on what the overlapping part. Okay, yeah, so remember is at the 6 inches mark, so you can make your neckline deeper if you want. Me, I just want to go down more a bit as if I'm creating more like a sweetheart effect there. So just give it a curve. You can decide to make it a V shape, you know. Yeah, you can even leave it straight if you don't want to, but just went down deep by 1. Then on that lowest part, you can see I'm going up by 3 inches there. Yeah, what I need actually was 2.5, but because of we are going to be hemming the lowest point with 0.5, that's why I made it 3. So from that point of the neckline now, I will now draw my line. So we just have our what overlapping effect there. So you can see this, guys. You can see this is it, guys. There's nothing extra here at all. Do not be confused. So that part where we mark the 3 inches, that's where I'll be what attaching what a strip for my tie, and we're done. We're done, guys. Going ahead to cut this entire piece out. Guys, at this point, if you've not liked this video, come on, what are you waiting for? Please go ahead, give me that like, okay? Subscribe to this channel if you haven't. Please smash the subscribe button, okay? And remember to turn the notification bells so that you always get notified every single time I upload my weekly videos on this channel. Don't forget to do that, and also share my videos, okay? I will appreciate this a whole lot. So you can see our front piece is ready. You can see these guys, can see just trying to arrange it all. You can see, so that part where that's where we're going to be attaching a strip, okay? So you can see I'll be attaching a strip there. Yeah, so I'll just go ahead now and fold my strip. So what I have there is my leftover piece of fabric. I have about 6 inches in width here. So remember, it's 2.5 that I need. So by the time I sew with 0.5, then I'll be left with 2.5. Then the full length I have is about 36. So I'm just going to split it into two. Yeah, I'm going to split it into two. So I have 18 on one side and 18 strip for the other side. Okay, I'm also going to cut out my linings. Yeah, I need to cut out lining for every single piece, and you can see that's what I'm doing right now. Just the exact same shape, just going ahead to cut out linings for everything. And here we have it. All our linings are ready. Yeah, so it's time to start doing the joinings together. So opening all this up, you can see, just make sure you have everything arranged, and I'll go ahead and join, the side. Whatever you're doing for the main piece, you're also doing for the lining. Just the way we join our pieces together. I'll go finish all this up later on. Okay, so you can see this for the back piece, you can see this, and of course for the main piece for the back. So just going to finish everything up now. Yeah, so here guys, I've gone ahead to do the joinings. You can see this is the lining for the back, and this is for the main piece, and of course you see for the front. So remember, I told you that I'll be deepening the neckline for the back. Okay, I've not done that yet, so I'll be doing that much later. So you can see that breast cup effect there is out. Okay, so this will help. I mean, this is much better than not having it at all. Okay, yeah, so that's it guys. You can see how this is looking. I can see my strip as well. I've gone ahead to do that. So the remaining thing now is just to give all this a good press, which I've not done yet. Yeah, so that's it guys. You can see all our pieces is ready. The next thing now to do is to start turning in the piece with the lining. So placing my lining over, I'm going to sew. I'm going to sew on top and also by the sides and also the lowest point as well. I'll be turning in from the from the armhole. Yeah, then for the front piece, I'll do the same thing. But before I do that, I have to attach my belt so that I can sew up everything together. You can see how I'm placing my belt. Then before placing the lining, just go ahead and sew it there. So you need to roll in the belt inside. Yeah, roll in the belt inside so that when you're done stitching everything, then you can now, everything will now be sealed inside. So we are just turning everything out. The only place that will be left open is just the armhole part. That's where we'll be turning it out from. Remember, I'll be attaching a sleeve much later. So that's it guys. So I'll go ahead and finish up everything. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and turn it all. Yeah, and here guys, you can see this. I'm gonna ahead to do that. You can see I've also deepened the neckline for the back. You can see, and this is for the front. You can see how this is looking. It's coming out beautiful already. By the time we give this a very good press, everything's going to fall into place. So you can see how this is now. Yeah, so that's it guys. So the next thing now, my sleeve. I'll go and cut my sleeve. So I have this piece I'll use to cut for my sleeve, and I'll be cutting for the two together. So that's why I have it folded into 4. Okay, yeah, so the length of this sleeve, I actually want it to be 5, although what I have here is 7. Yeah, so by the time I use 1 inches to hem it at the top and 1 to the lowest, then I'll be left with 5 inches. Okay, yeah, so that's it for the sleeve. So for me to know the exact width, you can see I'm taking note of what I have on the armhole. They have about 5 inches, so we'll be making use of this much later when we want to create the armhole curve for the sleeve. Okay, so just trying to confirm, if that's what I have on every single piece for both the front and the back. I have about 5 inches for my armhole there. So setting that aside, then I'll now take note of what the neck width. Now, the neck width. So the neck width now I have here, if I take note of that, what I have here now is 12. Okay, so this 12 for the front, 12 for the back makes it what, 24. So 24, we're going to be taking that away from the round off shoulder. So you need your round off shoulder circumference here, and what I have was 38. So 38 minus 24, I'm left with what, 14. So 14 is going to be the width of my sleeve. Remember, it's two sleeves, so I'll split it into two again. So 14 divided by 2, that is 7. So 7 inches for one sleeve, 7 for the other. And because we are going to be joining the sleeves with some seam allowance, about 1 inches, right? So I'll add 1 inches to that, which makes it what, 8. 7 plus 1, 8. And that's it. 8 inches for the width of my sleeve. So that's what I'm going to use. But of course, you know it's on fold when we are cutting. So because it's on fold, it will be 8 divided by 2, and that is 4. Please don't get confused. Just go over it again. You understand it, okay? Yes, there's nothing difficult here at all. So once I mark my 4 inches mark, then I can now create that my curve. Remember, right? But before creating the curve, of course, indicate the cap side. The cap side of 4 is okay for that. So cap side of 4, once you indicate the cap side line, then from that 4 inches width of our armhole there, we will now create our armhole curve. You can see this now. So you can just measure to be sure that it will align with what you already have measured out. It's as easy as that. Then on the lowest point, I'll just fix the round slit circumference. I'm working with 12 divided by 2, and that is 6. Then I'm just adding 1 inches for seam allowance. I'm going ahead to join. You can see my sleeve is ready. Guys, there is nothing extra here. Trust me, okay? Don't be confused. You can go over it again if it's a little bit somehow to you, and trust me, you're going to understand it. Yeah, so that's it, guys. You can see our sleeves is ready. Yeah, so what I will do now is to go ahead and join my sleeves now to my body. So but before that, of course I have to hem the top. Remember that 1 inches for the top and 1 inches for the lowest point. So this is the time to fold it in. I will do that for the lowest part as well. Okay, yeah. So once you've done that, cleaning up the edges of the sleeve, do the same thing for the other side. And guys, we're done here. The next thing, of course, will be to attach. So you can see our sleeve is done. I've gone ahead to hem the both sides, so I can now go ahead and attach it to our main body. So bringing back my main piece, I have my back piece. I'm now placing the front over the back, making sure that the right side is facing each other, of course. Then I'll go ahead and attach my sleeve. So just place your sleeve in such a way that the armholes is also facing the main bodies, right side facing each other. Don't forget, you can see how I'm pinning this down. So this is the way I'm going to sew, and do the same thing for the other side as well. You can see how I'm also pinning this down. You can see this now. Yeah, so once you're done sewing, of course, you have your sleeve in place. You can see how this looks. Yeah, so going ahead to repeat the same thing for the other side. We're almost done here. Like, this is almost the final step. So once this is done now, the final thing to do now will be to join the side. Just take it from the sleeve all the way straight down, and of course on the other side as well. Guys, believe it or not, this crop top is ready. And that is it, guys. You can see how beautiful this is looking right now. You can see our front tie off shoulder crop top is ready. You can see that bust cut effect. This is so beautiful. Like, once you give this a very good press now, you will see the beauty will be out already. So you can see this, guys. We're done here, guys. As easy as that. That is it, guys, on how to make this very beautiful piece. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me today. If you find this helpful, please, guys, don't forget to smash that subscribe button if you haven't. Remember to turn your notification bells, okay, so you get notified every single time I upload my weekly videos. And also like, share my videos. I'll appreciate this a lot. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me today. Very big thank you to all my subscribers. You guys are amazing. Thank you, guys. This is the beautiful outcome. I love this so. So watch out for the next video. I'm going to show you the lowest part of this two piece. Bye.